You've survived another week. Thank you for listening, downloading, and subscribing to the Black Man with a Gun show. This is the Old Guys and Guns episode. Going to give a pep talk to old guys like me. Not an old guy? Not a problem. Got a special project that's coming up on blackmanwithagun.tv that's just for you. Also, Michael J. Woodland is going to talk about boar sighting. What the heck is that? And I got some news fresh off the press.
Blackmanwithagun.com, Kenn Blanchard's pro-gun podcast.
I have discovered that the best people in my life listen to this show. Hey, right now, SHOT Show is happening, but I didn't go. And I didn't go because I didn't have a plan. I could have went, spent the money, saw folks in the industry that I love, but I couldn't motivate myself to do it. I'm trying to do something more than just beg for money and look like I'm doing something. I want to really make a difference. I'm older now and don't like wasting time, yours or mine. You with me on that? This week's show is dedicated to the guys that have survived to sport the gray hair. Fellas, don't be ashamed. Don't get stressed out about being older or not looking like you did when you were 25. I'm going to talk about middle age a little bit on this show and let you know it's better than okay. It might just be our redemption song. Now, maybe it's the time of year, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. And this show is going to stay low key on this episode because we're about to get hyped up actually with something new that I want to do. And this show actually might offend some of you 5'11" shorts, tactical vests, chest wearing, never seen combat, 3-point sling, Call of Duty addicted adrenaline junkies, but that's all right. This is for the OGs. This is for the fathers of adult children, the men that remember who Walter Cronkite was, watched the Jetsons, the Beverly Hillbillies, got a transistor radio for Christmas and thought they was the shizzle. And, they remember the Dick Van Dyke Show, and it wasn't a reference to a girl on a girl porno flick. You watched the Tonight Show when it had Johnny Carson. You dug the Beatles, and you were into a guy they called the Duke.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if you are not that old, that's cool. Just letting you know that I was born the same year as Wesley Snipes, Tom Cruise, Matthew Broderick, Axl Rose, Ralph Fiennes, Demi Moore, Jim Carrey, and Sheryl Crow. I survived civil rights, school busing, and some stuff I can't even tell you about. But you should be proud that you have made it too if you're older than that. I know if you're active on the net, Facebook, forums, etc., the younger folks kind of rule, but the most part, you can still find your way in there. I'm here to tell you it's all good. We were once young too. If they are fortunate that they make it to our age, cool. This conversation got me thinking about Rooster Cogburn, the shootist, and the unforgiven, and the old guys that still got it. You know, when I started in security and then law enforcement, I was trained with and carried a Smith & Wesson Model 19. Anybody there with me? Yeah. That means I used to use those fabled speed loaders a lot. Back then, courses were really static. Practical pistol courses were a lot of times behind barricades, and we changed our stances a lot. FBI stuff was in, and then we were doing some other stuff from all the big shots like Colonel Cooper and John Farnham, and yeah, them guys. I carried a revolver in my travels prior to being abroad too, and then I switched to the Browning High Power when I was starting to do executive personal protection in Central and Latin America, and then the Middle East. That was all prior to 9/11. You know, the coveted trainings back then were the now gone guys, Charles Taylor, Jeff Cooper, and their disciples. And Mossad Ayub was in there too. But he was the smarter one. He dealt with the mind more than the macho. And he has since progressed and kept up with the times, unlike many of the old dudes out here. It was still the age of the 45. And you weren't cool if you carried a 9 back then. But I usually did because it was easier to obtain 9mm ammo internationally and made a smaller footprint. Who is the gringo looking for 45 caliber ammunition essay? See, I trained Ivy League types going into hostile environments. I qualified police and security officers for duty. I shared some of my mistakes carrying in countries where it was illegal for a foreigner to be armed. I shared stories of what happened when the feces hit the oscillating device. By the time I got to the Far East, I was using the Glock 17, first gen. In the 1990s, I opened a business to help security guards qualify for armed duty and the new gun owner be safer. But it bombed. It bombed really bad. One, because I was inexperienced, did not have the media we have now, and I had some serious opposition. I wasn't ready for it. Some of the guards didn't even want training. They just wanted permission to carry so they could get paid higher. Most hated guns, didn't know about gun rights, history of the sport, or anything. They just wanted to carry the gun for their job. So if I wasn't going to sign their little form, certify them blindly, they moved on to somebody who would. It was a rough time. Tactically wise, I've actually hit more bad guys when I was driving a vehicle on a detail than I've shot people. But that story is for another time, and not on the net like this. Back then when we graduated on our protective detail to the Uzi, and even carried that H&K MP5K a couple of times, when I wasn't the advance or the hot seat guy. I carried the M16A1 back in the Corps, but that was all back in the days of wine and roses. Today, I have the same arguments I did back in 1991 when I started my firearms training company. And I think that's why I was kind of bummed out for a minute. I've been doing this stuff a long time and didn't move the needle much. Some of the same people in the gun industry, in the firearms community, are still here. And not much has changed. Not really. Not in the gun rights era. The folks with the money still have money. And a lot of people have come and gone. And for the record, over that 45 versus the 9, I agree that 1911 has its place, but your choice for self-defense sidearm should be a newer polymer, double-stacked something. We used to say if you needed more than 2 rounds, you were in combat and had the wrong firearm anyway. Well, I have since understood that bad guys involved have become more tribal. You are likely to have multiple attackers, a mob or a gang, and you need those spare magazines. And plus, folks don't stay down when they're shot. They don't surrender if you don't stop them, and life in general is just going to get suckier if you don't finish it faster. Get through it and survive. But you know, everything is not combat. You can't live in a Call of Duty condition. So listen up, you wannabe mall ninjas, keyboard commandos, 3-gun gear nerds. If you decide to get a concealed carry permit, it's not a hunting permit on people that piss you off. All threats don't require lethal force. If you can leave, then leave. If somebody hurts your feelings, insults your wife, live with it, suck it up. I'm saying this because it seems to be a rash of stupid people making the news. Too many immature, untrained, and unskilled guys out here itching for a gunfight. And for the record, if I see one more person on Instagram in black BDUs and a boonie hat, I think I'm going to blow chunks. Or if you see it, just put the hashtag ninja, please. It'll be an inside joke. Only you and I know what it means. For you old guys out here listening, have you started to read the obituaries in the paper? Starting to lose people that you grew up with? Starting to worry about the roads not taken? You bummed out that life holds no more surprises for you? Got some regrets? Hold on to yourself, man. Don't lose it yet. A dude named George Burton Adams said, "There is no such thing as a self-made man. We are made up of thousands of others. Everyone who has ever done a kind deed for us or spoken one word of encouragement to us has entered into a makeup of our character and our thoughts, as well as our success. If you're an old gunslinger, you might be going through a midlife crisis. Maybe you got over it already. How you handle it, though, matters to me. You can go out and fight it, pissed off at the world. Take your place in the balcony like the old guys and the Muppets. There's no shortage of curmudgeons in the forums. Or you can embrace it, celebrate it. You know, each man's journey is unique, shaped by his history and his hopes and his relationships. Put on my pastor hat for a minute. Let me tell you, you don't have to go buy a muscle car or think you need to get a younger wife. If you're blessed to have just one, believe me, it's cheaper to keep her. It's easier on your blood pressure and a blessing if you take inventory on what you got now. Older women have some pluses, and if you don't know, you can contact me offline. I'll fill you in. I think it's normal for guys our age or older start to wonder, does my life even matter? See, our goal is to come through middle life as a better man. Life is a journey. It's one of those cliches I think that's really true. Yeah, we're a bit slower out the gate, but smooth is still fast. And if you can take it from our younger brothers, you can be wiser, calmer, stronger of spirit, and even more attractive to women of all ages if you haven't found somebody yet. Am I talking to anybody here but myself? Just want to check, Over 45? Hey, it's all a mental thing. Marcus Garvey said, we're going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery because while others might free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. Mind is your only ruler, sovereign. The man who is not able to develop and use his mind is bound to be a slave of the other man who uses his. That's tight, right? I know. What I'm trying to say to you, man, is it ain't over, Holmes. If you don't get all Facebook, no biggie. If you don't tweet, no big deal. If you still prefer face-to-face conversations and text messages, hey, you might be onto something there. If your last video game was Zelda or Mario Brothers, it's all good. To all the old guys listening, hang in there and don't get pissed off or try to hide your age. If you're an old guy like me, just know we're blessed. All of us didn't make it this far. As an old guy, I can proudly say the music of our generation is still cooler. We used to dance with women. The younger folks are trying to get to where we are now. They may have YouTube videos, but they can't probably get a sponsor. Old guys still rule. Do you have a concealed carry permit? Have you received training, been educated in its use of self-defense and protecting you and your family? Well, one piece you might be missing is self-defense insurance. It's what responsible gun owners do. A friend of mine started a company, a magazine back in the day. And the magazine was successful. He was able to branch out, provide education, training, and self-defense insurance for responsible gun owners. It's the USCCA. I am now an affiliate. I want to show off my buddy right now. Go to uscca.blackmanwiththegun.com and check out the page. I guarantee you there's something that you could use, something that can help you, something that can make you better. uscca.blackmanwiththegun.com. Check it out. Education, training, and self-defense insurance for responsible gun owners. uscca.blackmanwiththegun.com is the link. Go to it now. Hey, Brother Leroy, thank you for your input, brother.
Direct from our newsroom in Washington, in color.
Somewhere not too far from San Francisco, in a place called Oroville, a man was allegedly tried to force his way into a home early Wednesday morning. He is in extremely critical condition after being shot by the resident, according to Oroville Police Department. Police were called just before 2 a.m. Wednesday to the Olive Hill Retirement Community. The resident said an unknown man had been pounding on his door, asking for assistance, according to a press release. The resident met briefly with the visitor, called 911, and armed himself with a pistol, and went back and opened the door again. According to the release, the visitor tried to force his way in, and the resident shot him. The shooting victim, a 59-year-old transient from Oroville, was flown by helicopter to an area hospital for treatment. The names of the involved parties are being withheld at this time due to the nature of this investigation. And somewhere in northern Texas, a place called Olson, La Bella Pizza. The owners of La Bella Pizza on Olson released a statement on January 9th where there was a shooting at the store. It says, "We at La Bella Pizza on Olson are deeply saddened by the incident that occurred last Tuesday, January 9th. Our hearts go out to all the families that are involved during this trying time. Our policy always has and always will be that our employees are welcome to legally and responsibly possess the means to defend themselves and others around them. We have worked diligently to prepare for our inspection so that we can get open again and let our team return to work to support their families. We'll be open on the 16th as soon as we pass our inspection and are able to complete our food preparations. To clear up any confusion, La Bella Pizza on Olson is individually owned, and we have no control or affiliation with the other locations other than friendship. We would like to thank our community for the outpouring of support and understanding we receive during this time and look forward to serving you again." So what the heck happened? Well, on January 9th, an employee shot and killed a man during a robbery. During the investigation, detectives found 29-year-old Ruben Raul Rios was also involved in the robbery. Rios is in the Potter County Detention Center on a murder charge. Texas law allows people to be charged with murder if they take part in a crime in which another person is killed, even if they did not take part in the killing. And our final story comes from Springfield, Missouri, where gunfire breaks out during an attempted burglary. Police say shots were fired during an attempted break-in early Tuesday morning at a home at the corner of Missouri and Elm in Springfield. Officers say the homeowner shot a man who tried to get into his house. The man did suffer some injuries related to the break-in, but officers say he was not shot. The would-be burglar was taken to a local hospital. This was on January 16th, 2018. Are you starting something new? Do you need a logo, a mascot, website redesign, a new website altogether, album art for your podcast, or maybe even some podcast producing? If so, contact me, your friend and your brother from another mother at KennBlanchard.com. I'm more than another company. I will help you get from where you are to where you want to go. Graphics, media, and design at KennBlanchard.com. All right, this week I am missing the SHOT Show. That's the Shooting, Hunting, and Outdoor Trade Show out in Vegas right now. But if you want to get some good coverage and find out all the cool stuff, go over to my friends page at gunsholstersandgear.com and check out what Rich is doing, and you'll be pleased. Gunsholstersandgear.com for the SHOT Show 2018 stuff. And tell them Ken sent you. All right, next up is Michael J. Woodland. And I want to tell you how cool this guy is. I was kind of bummed, just trying to find my voice again, trying to make sure I give some good contact. And Mike stepped in there and was the best cheerleader, said the right thing I needed to hear at the right time. And not only is he my co-host on this thing, but he's actually pulling me into the 22nd century with the video. I'm going to do a lot better with that. As soon as this weather breaks, we're going to hook up and do some stuff. Part of this new project that I'm talking about. I'm going to share with you in a few. But right now, Mike's going to talk to you about bore sights.
Thank you, Ken, and welcome to another Tips and Review segment. I am Michael Woodland, and today we're going to discuss bore sighting. What is bore sighting? It is simply a method of adjustments to an optical firearm sight or iron sights to align the firearm barrel and the sights. This method is usually used to pre-align the sights, which makes zeroing go much faster. A device called a bore sighter or kilometer is used to accomplish this. So basically what takes place, you will assemble the kilometer, slide the smaller end into the barrel from the muzzle brake, turn it on, and a light or laser will project from the kilometer out at a said distance you're zeroing from. Let's say 25 yards. With the barrel insert in place and the light or laser on, it's time to go to the next step of adjusting. When you get behind the scope, optic, or sight, start making adjustments until the light or laser is at the intended aiming position you desire. It may be easier to have someone assist you to cut down on the time on your adjustments to your weapon system. After you have your adjustments in order, we can move on to the next step. Having the firearm bore sighted, we can confirm the bore sighting with a 25-yard zero. Now, when you go out and start the zero, there should be minimum correction when making your new corrections to the optic, scope, or iron sights. For those who are looking to contact me, visit blackmanwiththegun.com and under the Leaders tab, click on my name, Michael Woodland, and shoot me an email. Until next week, keep shooting, keep practicing, and have fun. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Mike. This might be a good time to introduce what I'm about to do. Yeah, let me do it now. All right, listen up. I got a big announcement that I want to give to you right now. With the help of Michael J. Woodland, I'm going back to my roots as a teacher, a trainer. I'm working on a project to help all newbies operate from a point of power and respect. So next time you go to the gun range or the gun shop, you will know some stuff. I'm working on a project to help you save some time and have some fun at the same time. And if you know me, you know I value family, and I'm planning to take care of people that become a part of this project with me. If you got kids in the car, a wife or a husband on the fence about our gun thing, this is going to help. This is going to be easy, but sexy too. Get ready to discover what's coming to blackmanwithagun.tv. Subscribe now to the YouTube channel, blackmanwithagun.tv.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Crossbreedholsters.com. Crossbreed Holsters has gained national recognition as a maker of the best and most functional concealment holsters available on the market today. Each holster is handcrafted to ensure your firearm is safe and secure while carrying, combined with the best customer service in the industry. Visit CrossbreedHolsters.com.
If you want to get some inside scoop of what's going on with the National Rifle Association and its members meeting and all the hoo-ha that's happening, check out ammoland.com. There's a pretty cool firestorm over there talking about board of directors and all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. You might want to read it for yourself. ammoland.com. I think that's it. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that really counts. Just in case nobody else has told you this today, I love you. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. Check out the new Speak Life podcast when you get a chance, and you'll find the show notes for this on blackmanwithagun.com.
Until next time, friends.
To keep in touch with Kenn and his cause, head over to blackmanwithagun.com.
This show is part of the Gun Podcast Network.